In this video, I'll give you a lesson on how to play the Revolutionary War duty call Grenadiers March. The Grenadiers March was beaten as a quickstep at 120 beats per minute. It was used to signal for either the Grenadier Company or the whole regiment to advance at the double quick. Grenadiers March could also be used as a salute to the general officer or the guard, though it's unclear if only the Grenadier Musicians should use it in this capacity. Make sure you have your drumsticks and drum or drum pad set up. In this lesson, I'll play to demonstrate phrases and then give you time to play along to music or audio. Note, you should know how to play the drags, preferably lesson 25s, and 7-stroke rolls. If you don't, check out my videos. For drags, see the retreat lesson 1. For lesson 25s, see the preparative lesson 4, and 7-stroke rolls lesson 7 and lesson 20. The Grenadier March breaks down into 2 phrases. Phrase 1 is played 3 times, followed by phrase 2, played 3 times. Phrase 1 begins with a lesson 25. As you should recall from our lesson on the preparative, a lesson 25 is a right-handed drag, followed by a left stroke and a right stroke. All together. So to start phrase 1, we'll play a lesson 25, and then we'll pause for a beat, and then we'll play another lesson 25. And then after that, we'll play 4 alternating strokes. So a left stroke, right stroke, left stroke, right stroke. All together, phrase 1 goes lesson 25, lesson 25, left, right, left, right. Try that phrase on your own a couple of times. As you should recall from the description, Grenadiers March is played as a quickstep, so 120 beats per minute. Next, I'm going to play an exercise where you'll play along with me and a metronome to make sure that you're playing at the correct tempo. Phrase 2 is basically the same as phrase 1. What we'll do is change the lesson 25s to 7-stroke rolls. So phrase 2 begins with a 7-stroke roll, a short pause, and then another 7-stroke roll, and then right into our 4 alternating strokes. Left, right, left, right. All together. You'll notice that you have to keep your 7s particularly contracted in order to fit into the time, since we will be playing this at 120 beats as well. So really think about nice tight 7-stroke rolls. Again. Try that a few times on your own. Make sure you focus on the sticking first and then add some speed. Next, we're going to play the same exercise, where you'll play along with me and a metronome to make sure that you're getting the tempo correct. The Grenadier March breaks down into two phrases. Phrase 1 is played 3 times, followed by phrase 2, played 3 times. Try playing the Grenadiers March one time through by yourself. Next, play the Grenadiers March one time through along with me. I'll give 4 clicks and then we'll start. You may have noticed that in some of the music, the beginning of the line starts with a partial measure. This is called a pickup note and happens when we'll begin whatever rudiment just prior to the first beat or first step. The Grenadiers March is a good example of this. In phrase 2, we see that it begins with a 7-stroke roll. You'll notice that there's a pickup note or an 8th note before the main measure. This tells us that we'll start that 7-stroke roll as we begin to pick up our left foot to commence the march. Phrase 1 also has a pickup note. Here we start the lesson 25 before the first step. Unlike phrase 2, where we only have a single 8th note, here in phrase 1 we have the 2 16th notes. Occasionally you might see a longer pickup note, such as a quarter note or a full beat before that first step. This occurs in the 5 tune, the Grenadiers March. The main reason it's important to be aware of these pickup notes is to know what pickup note you as a drummer have versus what pickup note the fifer has, so that you can start at the same time. Make sure you can comfortably play along to the recording all the way through before moving on. Once you've got this beating down, move on to the next lesson. If you want a recording of just the full beating, check out my video